Hello, our SeptaSOAREous.
I'm Septa.
I'm Soar, and this is us.
SeptaSOAREous.
Rex! And we're back to The Rise of BANGTAN. We're doing Chapter 2, Begin. And remember, if there's any music missing or anything cut out of it, we're trying to be copyright friendly. And we always have like the entire full version over on our Patreon.
Yes.
We're really excited to check this out. For the first episode was really good, and it, gave us a lot of good behind the scenes. And then we checked out We Are Bulletproof. So hopefully, whatever the theme or whatever of this episode, whatever song it is, we'll do next week.
Yeah. And I'm excited that this time we get to meet V. So that'll be fun.
But before we meet V,
you know what you gotta do. You gotta hit that like button. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button and that notification bell. And I want to see you in the comments. Tell me how you're doing today because I care about you.
Close my eyes. For a long time, I've dreamed this dream. Life as a zoo in a jungle. We got to find and get our weapons to rumble. And BTS, we're the kids who are too cool for school and too bad to be good. So I'm gonna
it's so
fight
adorable.
against all the prejudice. Fight for my generation. Fight for my music. Because this cold world has no more dream.
안녕하세요. 1일 DJ를 맡은 방탄소년 네? 다시 하겠습니다. 안녕하세요. 1일 VJ를 맡은 방탄소년단의 맏형 진입니다. 지금부터 방탄소년단의 세계 매력에 빠져보도록 하시죠.
Making a debut after a long preparation.
That intro was adorable.
I know. I know they're like trying to be badass and stuff.
Yeah, and it's like the promo. And...
Yeah, and like, they're just so cute.
I know.
But I like the message, fight against prejudice and
yeah, I think it's
fight
a
for the
beautiful
music
message.
and their generation and stuff. So that part is cool, but I cannot help but just think about how adorable they are.
I know.
How can the singer and album make an appeal to the general public?
Korea has around 4,000 official labels / entertainment companies / businesses that make or produce albums.
K-pop is
That's a
so
lot.
competitive.
That's
You
so
have
much.
hundreds of groups debut every year.
Wow.
And it's, maybe 1% is going to stay around for a few years.
Korea has a relatively small home market, so it has to think about developing a product that will appeal to overseas markets.
I really do not like or appreciate that they try to pigeonhole like K-pop and like the Korean music industry as like this super like factory corporate like machine. Because where the hell do you think we got that from?
Up until a certain point, I think we were very much influenced by the Western. I'm not saying that it's right or that it's wrong, but it's just what needed to be done in order to branch out.
I mean, that's been around for a very, very long time, and it happens in everywhere else too. They only focus on like a few specific cases where that happens and then make it seem like every single part of this scene here is like that.
There are systematic, rotten problems in the idol trainee system. The way that it's become like a simplified, generalized narrative about the dark side of K-pop and how this bland, obvious statement seems to resonate in headlines shows that there's a problem in the way Western media perceive this new Asian culture.
You know, there's a misconception that
even we had heard the term the dark side of K-pop.
Yeah. And that was like one of the first ways I heard about it, about
Yeah.
K-pop in general.
And I think it's basically competing music industries trying to find a way to make it seem bad because they did find success.
Mm-hmm.
They're very successful. And in coming overseas, that's really hard to do for many artists. And I think the fact that K-pop had found this really good recipe for helping shape and mold artists, it definitely intimidated some other music industries, and that's why they had to just pick that narrative and just slap it everywhere.
When it comes to entertainment, kind of just in general, there's a lot of bad practices in all of it, you know. So I'm sure that they're worried about the K-pop scene kind of taking over the Western scene, which is stupid, but you know, they're worried about it. So they're like, well, we got to talk smack and get this idea into people's heads. You know, if something happens in the entertainment industry here, you know, be like, well, I mean, it's not as bad as K-pop, you know, like I know that was bad, but have you seen the stuff about K-pop? Jeez.
It's definitely it's a red herring method. In America, at least, they can rely on the fact that we don't know many other languages. So it's very few and far between that anybody would actually research into it. They're just going to read a headline and take it at face value.
Yeah, like they'll read the headlines. Even if they go into the article and read the article completely, they can kind of say whatever they want to in the article. And then what are you going to do? Go read the like Korean things that you don't know how to read? There's like, how are you going to fact check that kind of stuff unless you're paying attention to the K-pop scene yourself and learning about behind the scenes, you know, like we are with BTS and sitting here learning about it. But if it wasn't for this, then we would still maybe be like, yeah, no, I heard that the K-pop scene's pretty rough on their talent, and that's not cool. That's what the Western media wants, and that's what they're achieving.
Yeah, because that's even what we had heard.
And like what he was saying, he's like, where do you think we got that from? It's like, yeah, they're following like the template of the Western musical industry and everything, trying to kind of figure out that formula to kind of do their own thing. And it's like, yeah, who are you criticizing? You have no room to speak at all.
Hello pot, meet kettle.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think in general, all of their practices happen throughout the music industry all over the world, and not just music, as was pointed out, athletes as well.
Of course, it would be nice to find a better way to go about things to grow your talent and everything like that. But you can't demonize one industry about it if you're doing it. You just can't do that.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, training is training. It will be rigorous, and it's really hard, especially on, well, I guess athletes. It's mainly physical. For like K-pop performers, it's physical because of the dance aspect, and then it's almost more so physical for the singing aspect, because that's a whole other set of muscles that you have to tune up and train to do exactly what you need it to do.
Plus, you have societal standards when you're like, at least in an idol group, or if you're like a pop star in America, right? You have to
then they
look
have
a
the
certain
beauty
way.
standards on top of it.
Exactly. So, I mean, yeah, it can definitely be intense.
Yeah, nobody's berating a football player for not being pretty.
Korean industry is like somehow more corporate. And no, even if there are certain things that they have to do, like choreography and stuff like that, right? They still have enough room to, write songs and be creative.
Back in the day,
I don't think it's that they're more corporate. I think it's that they're more organized.
They're more polished, which makes at least a lot of Westerners feel like it's corporate, right? It's like they look almost like too perfect. They like physically almost like too perfect, and their routines are just spot on, and you know their music is really well produced, right? So it's like for some people, I feel like it gives it that sterile almost feeling to it, that sterile corporate feeling. I don't agree with it. I don't feel like they really have that, but I feel like maybe that's kind of what they mean and what some people feel like maybe.
Yeah, I think when they get intimidated, that's what they're going to go back to.
Heavy metals and the rock stars, you know what I mean? They're kind of like K-pop now. You're gonna have some characters. They wear crazy makeup and all that hair, and so this is what's happening with K-pop. Rock stars reborn, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what is it like living as a K-pop star?
If you turn on your TV any day of the week here in Seoul, you'll find a K-pop show to watch.
BANGTAN!
It's a weekly rapid-fire blast through the latest crop of K-pop acts. These artists are already signed to record labels, but it's a competitive show, a bit of a cross between Top of the Pops and X Factor. Winning can be a huge boost for any act.
Winners are selected through votes from the live audience as well as the viewers at home.
음악 방송을 통해서 이제 홍보도 할 수 있고 또 그리고 생방송으로 보통 진행이 되기 때문에 사실 굉장히 좋은 기회고 그런 홍보를 할 수 있는 그런 수단인 것 같습니다.
야만 내 꿈. 전부 다. 전부 다.
비비는데 이런 거 영상에 찍으면 안 돼요. 형 카메라 비비면 제가 쑥스러워요. 왜?
The rookie hip-hop group BTS are in the spotlight,
I like
and the members are
J-Hope's
waiting
clothes.
for their turn. Unlike other rookie stars, they greeted the camera in a relaxed way.
2013년 7월 10일 V의 첫 단독 모드.
안녕하세요. V입니다. 나이는 19살이고요. 방탄에서 보컬을 맡고 있습니다.
사람들이 많이 놀랬던 것 같은데 6명 그룹일 줄 알았던 방탄이 7명이 그룹이 7명이라서 오래전부터 멤버들이랑 같이 생활했다. 그리고 크리스마스 때도 같이 있었고 랩몬 형 졸업 때도 갔고 단체로 찍을 때 6명만 나왔을 뿐이지 사실 나도 있었다. 나는 카메라에만 안 나왔을 뿐이지 벽에 기대서 형들을 계속 지그시 바라보고 있었다. 앞으로 많은 것을 보여드리는 방탄소년단의 V가 되겠습니다.
Was there actually hype around that, I wonder? Like, I wonder if people were actually like really excited when it was like, oh, by the way, we have another member.
Yeah, when they were just like, surprise!
Yeah, I'd like to know how people kind of reacted to it. If they were like, oh my God, yes, that's amazing. Or, you know, I'm just curious because...
Yeah, I wonder if it helped like create more buzz.
Exactly.
To help them get their feet off the ground, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm curious how well that worked out for him.
Yeah.
방탄소년단 드라리아서 진행하겠습니다. 셋, 둘, 하나.
I just want to see the jump.
쭉 내리는 건 포커스 안 잠깐만 우리 이제 끝났어.
네.
가죽 진짜 너무 더워요. 바로야. 야 그거 뭐야?
괜찮아.
빨리 모여봐.
네.
나한테 있어, 나한테.
6월 둘째 주 M 카운트다운 스페셜 MC 이준 천둥입니다. 예, 지난주
잘해야 돼요. 기회는 단 한 번뿐이야.
지금 얼굴 풀로 잡고 있어요.
왔어요?
얼굴이
너무 가까이 잡지 마세요. 메이크업 중.
뭐라고 한마디만 더 해줘요.
사랑해요, 방탄.
Ooh. They got pole dance.
I didn't know they got
too.
saucy up in there.
Good workout.
쑥스러운 인사였지만
What?
Good workout.
지금도 쑥스러워.
What a goober.
방탄소년단입니다. 방탄소아르.
안녕하세요. 그 데뷔 전부터 있잖아요. 입소문이 아주 자자했던 방탄소년단이 오늘 M 카운트다운에서 데뷔 무대를 가져요.
M 카운트다운 최초 공개 핫 데뷔 방탄.
안녕하세요, 팬 여러분. 둘, 셋, 팍!
Type.
안녕하세요, 방탄소년단입니다. 방탄소년단입니다. 방탄소년단입니다.
We'll do our best, so please show your love.
꿈이 없는 상태로 10대를 보내다가 부모님이 뭐 공무원 좋잖아 공무원에 뭔가 10대들에게 이제 정말 네 꿈이 뭐냐를 물어보고 싶었어요 정말.
맞춰서 응원도 해주시고 정말 감동받았습니다. 너무 감사했습니다.
Our song No More Dream was one of the top 3 most requested songs on the after school club.
이 시대의 감성을 담는다는 거예요. 특히 젊은 사람들의 청년들이 지금 숨쉬기가 좀 벅차요. 뛰업 안 되죠. 꿈 가지라는데 이거 꿈 고문이죠. 희망 고문이죠. 근데 그런 것들을 참 잘 담아요.
때를 봤는데 너무 멋있어가지고.
감사합니다.
네, 너무 잘하는 거죠.
방탄이라는 게 이제 총알을 막아낸다는 의미잖아요. 총알처럼
막아내겠다.
쏟아지는 편견과 억압에서 이제 당당히 저희 세대의 생각과 가치를 지켜내겠다는 그런 심오한 뜻이 담겨 있습니다.
성난 포부를 저희가 또 갖고 있죠.
防弾少年団の活動を応援しています。
So I find it really interesting what it seems like No More Dream is about inspiring youths to have dreams and not just be civil servants. Because I know when I was in school, I was one of those kids that like all I cared about was getting straight A's. That's all I did. I made sure that I had good grades, and then everything else like pretty meh. I still threw myself into music, obviously.
Pretty meh. Yeah, I didn't have dreams. I had zero dreams. No, when I was in school, obviously, you know, I did guitar classes and art classes, so I liked that kind of stuff. But my dream was to not be in school anymore because I absolutely despise school. I was so terrified when I was in school, and they're always like, well, enjoy it because these are like the best years of your life. I was terrified, legit. I thought that was real. I thought like literally this is the peak, you know? And so it was like depressing. I legit thought that's just what it was. But then after high school, I'm like, I was right. Like I just can't stand school. You know, and then after that, that's when I was like, oh my God, I can do things like things that I want to do.
Yeah.
And, you know, it just opened up my mind because my mind was always get through school, just get to the next day, just, you know, so it was like, felt like I was trapped in this little box. And then like after I graduated, I was like, wait a minute, oh my God, Jesus Christ. And like, I wish I had thought about that when I was younger, but of course I didn't. So I feel like I had some wasted time there, but that's okay.
I was one of the ones that hyper focused on that because I don't know, I'm sure you heard it too. You're young, your job is to go to school.
Mm-hmm.
So it was my job.
Yeah, I hated that too because I'm like, I ain't getting paid. Like legit, if they had paid me money, I would be straight A's. Like seriously, if they paid me per like what my grade was, I would have done amazing. I wanted to say that I like their competition shows.
Yeah.
Because of course we have those. We have like America's Got Talent, The Voice, stuff like that. But like they actually let them use their own original music. And here it's just people doing covers. And hopefully you can sing that cover really well. And like, you know, they might like spice it up into like a metal version or a rock version or something, but still a cover. You know, they still want you to do something that people already know because that's how they get the viewers is We're like, oh man, I can watch this show and watch people do the covers of all these songs that I already love.
Yes, because people want something familiar.
Exactly. But like here, they're like, you can come in and actually do your own stuff. So like that lady said, it's actually a really good opportunity to go there and then promote your own music.
Yeah,
which I
is
appreciate.
Yeah, I think that's super cool. The only downside is that it is so competitive because there are so many people.
Right.
But in general, it's a great idea, and it's really cool to give people that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
There's got to be an insane amount of pressure because one of them was crying even before the performance.
Yeah, man, I can't imagine. And you know that this one performance is going to determine if you come back or, you know, like a lot of things.
Yeah, there's a lot riding on that.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were talking about how they had already kind of had like a buzz going where people were talking about them before they had even debuted. So I wonder if that like amped it up even more because then they had even more to prove.
Yeah, because they're like, oh yeah, you guys have been hearing about us. Now we have to prove it to you. All right, here we go.
That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, but it was also cool to see or hear the people chat with them and stuff.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. I liked hearing that. I was like, man, that'd be so hype. Oh my god,
it'd be really fun.
I know.
한 번에 끝냈어요. 진짜.
우리라서 무서웠어요.
끝.
대성공. 오예. 오예. 이거 많이 더 잘하겠습니다. 내일 잘할 자신 있어요.
자, 다 됐니?
감사합니다.
하나, 둘, 셋. 자유 포즈. 하나, 둘, 셋. 됐습니다.
This might sound really weird, and I'm pretty sure it's just a cultural thing, but I really enjoy the fact that everybody acknowledges one another and tells them that they did a good job and they appreciate their hard work.
That's exactly what I was thinking. And it was like, from the moment they are finished on stage, it's like, everyone's like, yes, good job. Worked hard. We don't get that here.
No.
At least, yeah, it might be around somewhere, but where we live, that's not a thing. And if you expect it, then you're kind of...
entitled?
Yeah, you're entitled. If you just expect any sort of praise...
Or recognition, even.
Recognition. It's like, well, you should just be grateful that you even have this job. Or you should be grateful that you're even doing this. Like, why would I need to praise you? You know, it's your job to do it, so do it.
And then when it comes to like musical performances and stuff, I've had plenty of sound crews that I worked with that you could tell hated their lives.
Well, and God, yeah, because...
Zero energy, barely any communication, and usually those sets go better if you take over and you set up all of your own sound and you're self-sufficient, because I cannot tell you how many times I've had a sound guy just crank the gain knob on my vocals.
Slap some reverb on you and then just get...
And then you get feedback for days.
A ton of feedback. Can't move around the stage. There's like that one little spot where you don't get the
little
feedback
pocket,
and you're just like kind of...
And you can't actually perform because they won't leave the gain knob alone. I'm getting flashbacks. But I think that it is a cultural thing, but I really appreciate it.
I do too.
I think manners go a very long way, and I just like to see it.
멤버들 연습 기간이요 3년 정도라고 들었습니다. 데뷔 전에 블로그를 통해서 직접 만든 프리스타일 랩, 자작곡도 올리고 기존 곡 위에 랩을 얹어 새로운 편곡한 믹스테이프도 뭐 올리고 굉장히 이슈가 됐었습니다. 요거는 누가 많이 했었던 건가요?
이제 저와 이제 랩몬스터가 가장 많이 했는데요. 블로그를 통해서 자작곡도 많이 공개하고 또 저희들 로그라는 저희들 하루 일지 같은 영상을 찍어서 매번 이 영상을 블로그를 통해서 올리고 하고 있었습니다.
아, 직접이요?
네. 편집은 안 하고요. 그냥 영상을 찍어서 바로
올렸어요.
아 그냥 올렸어요?
네. 아니, 팬분들이 많이 좋아하시더라고요.
아 그때부터
네.
좀 팬이 있었군요.
Nice
네,
mustache.
그래서
미약 하나만.
그래서 연관 검색어에 데뷔 언제 해?
데뷔를 하고 이제 처음으로 학교를 간 적이 있었는데 학교에 되게 이제 기대를 하고 이제 데뷔도 했고 이제 친구들의 반응이 궁금해서 잔뜩 기대가 부풀어서 이제 내가 원하지 않는 그런 밋밋한 반응들 평범한 반응들
Snap back to reality right there.
평범한 일상의 반응들 원하지 않았다 정말로 씁쓸한 현실을 겪은 그런 날이 있었는데
저 당시에는 우리가 막 방송을 마음대로 못 깔 때예요.
Yes.
Yeah, you get that, especially because they're performing and
Mhm.
debuted and everything. So you
Yeah.
get that like that high from their performance and from the fans and everything.
Yeah, and just success.
Yeah, like you just there's all this stuff. It's like a whirlwind for you. And then when you go back to someone, well, like he went back to school, so you go back there and they're like, "Oh, hey man, what's up?" And it's like,
Exactly.
well, actually, a lot's been up. And they're like, "Yeah, cool, man. Like, good for you."
Yeah.
And then you're like, "Ah, I see."
Yeah, it's one of those weird things where something drastic happens. It can happen in any aspect.
Like
something drastic
positive,
happens in your
negative.
life. Yeah, positive, negative, whatever. And then the world keeps turning and everybody else has all their own things going on. So when you think that everything has changed because it has changed for you, you realize that it doesn't matter in really any other regard because everything else just keeps mulling on like normal.
Yeah.
But you feel so much different. And it kind of feels like it's jarring. It's kind of like a weird betrayal of emotion.
Because it's jarring, and I feel like part of it when something like that happens is it feels because you've grown, right? Like he's experienced a lot of new things at this point, and he's worked really hard. He's grown so much that when you do that and you go back to a familiar place like that, it's almost like stepping back in time, and you're going back to the mentality of that school or the group of friends that you're going back to, or your family or something. You're like, whoa, like I've expanded my thoughts in this direction for so long, and now I'm going just a step back to what I was used to 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And that is also weird too.
And then I wonder if part of what played into it is that's one of the things that they love to do in like movies and TV shows where somebody goes and finds success and gets famous and they go back to school and everything's changed and they're the king of the school and they're just on top of the world.
Walking in, everyone's like, woo! Everyone's lining the halls and stuff. They're like, yeah, dude.
So it just builds it up in your head. And then the real world just kind of falls flat.
One of the things you have to be careful with when it comes to that as well is you have to be careful not to get too depressed from it, because it can really just mess with your psyche. And then you have this, you get all these like dopamine hits just constantly, and you're working so hard and like you're seeing this success, and then you go back to something like that and it's like, oh yeah, it really just it reels you in. And some artists, when they go on tour for a while and they stop, they're like, dude, I got so depressed, I had to do something. Like it was just a completely different world.
Yep.
You kind of have to find yourself again and who you are by yourself, and all this other stuff has to happen.
It's a complete readjustment.
Exactly. It's like a reboot, and some people don't handle it very well.
Yeah. And I think it's because when you do that stuff, like you always have highs and lows.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you're doing that, you're getting really high highs, which means you're going to have really low lows.
Exactly. Yeah, you're going to have to hit those lows before you start coming back to just a leveled out, but it's rough getting there sometimes.
방송을 막 사람 다 차 있으면 우리 못 나오고 그럴 때도 있었어.
또 요즘은 진짜 많이 느끼는데 뭔가 말의 심각성, 말의 중요성에 대해서 많이 느낀다. 정말 얼마 안 되는 네임밸류지만 인신 공격도 많이 받았었고 뭐 일방적으로 정말 밑도 끝도 없이 까내리는 비난들 정말 앞으로 얼마나 많이 받을지 모르지만 얼마나 많이 받겠지만 너무 많이 받겠지만 괜찮다 괜찮고 날 까고 수많은 찬사와 수많은 비난을 받겠지만 항상 당당하고 항상 나는 이런 사람이고 난 진짜 괜찮은 사람 우리는 진짜 괜찮은 팀이라는 걸 꼭 각인시켜주고 싶다.
이제 와서 무슨 학생들의 반항 같은 이야기를 컨셉으로 들고 나오냐. 철진한 컨셉이다. 비판도 굉장히 많이 받았던 것 같습니다. 그렇지만 저는 그들이 자신의 이야기를 하는 것이 무엇보다 중요하다고 생각했습니다.
I think this whole lyric is actually a message to the me in the past. When I was a middle school student, I studied really well, and I was a really smart and good student in the school. When I studied well and I got good score, and the adults and parents just praised me, and the adults told me that you will success. But I had no dream. I had no other dreams.
꿈을 꾸는 평범한 학생이었던 친구들이 아이돌로 데뷔를 하고 꿈과 다른 현실에 좌절도 하고 점점 스타가 되어가는 여러 과정을 거치면서 그들이 가졌던 진솔한 고민들이 음악에 담겨졌습니다. 이렇게 그들의 내면을 표현한 메시지가 같은 세대를 살아가고 있는 팬들의 마음에 닿았고
너무 바쁘고 힘들지만 내 꿈을 이뤄가고 있고 뭔가 이 시발점에서 첫걸음을 잘 내딛는 것 같아서 기분이 너무 좋다. 나는 그래서 현재를 좀 즐기면서 동시에 바쁘고 열심히 살려고 한다. 그렇게 살면 참 힘들겠지 몸이. 아무튼 그런 사람이 되고 싶고 곧 멋진 음악으로 또 팬분들, 대중분들 찾아뵙고 싶다. 앞으로도 열심히 살고 또 열심히 바쁘게 살 것이다. 올해는 정말 진짜로 너무너무 중요한 하루가 될 것 같아서 기분이 너무 좋다. 화이팅! 레몬스터 화이팅! 김남준 화이팅! 방탄소년단 화이팅! 뜬금없다. 아무튼 이렇게 로그 끝.
I love his positive attitude.
I know
so much. He's like I know it can be hard to have that mindset and like really just try to keep it and stay positive, but it seems like he does a really good job. I'm sure that there's got to be times where some criticism and stuff gets to them, especially once you start blowing up and more people have eyes on you, the more criticism.
Well, people just love to hate things.
They do.
So it's so easy to just throw insults at people because you had a bad day.
You could like say the nicest thing in the world that nobody should have an issue with, and there's somebody out there.
We'll find something.
They'd be like, wow, seriously? Like, I had a terrible day. Like, I can't believe you'd say that. Like, what? Today's not awesome. Are you kidding me? Coming on the internet and telling me that you love me? I don't even know you.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. And I really enjoy his mentality and his approach to that. I truly admire him for that mindset, especially at such a young age.
Dude, I did not. I still have, like, I am a negative Nancy. And I can't help it. It's just in my biology. I can't really get past that. But when I was younger, I was way worse. I was even worse. Everything was negative. And of course, I was in situations, mainly school, where I had to be there and there's basically nothing I liked, you know? So it was really hard to find anything positive going on. I just literally hated everything I was doing. So I do appreciate a lot his mentality and the fact that he could have that at such a young age. And it seems like it's carried on since then is really cool.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. And I think it's one of the many things that made him such a great leader.
I agree. I also want to say that I like how the manager encouraged them to write about their feelings and experiences like they're theirs. He wasn't like, oh, you need to write about this certain thing to connect to whatever he thought was important at the time. He let them just speak, which of course is going to connect to a lot of people, especially around their age, because everyone around that age is kind of feeling that way. And
Yeah.
It was really smart and it was just really cool.
Yes, that was such a great decision. And then I think that it was key to their success. And that's why it makes me laugh to hear people who criticized that approach.
Yeah.
And tried to say that it was silly.
Out of date. It's an out of date way of thinking, is what they said.
Yes. And obviously, they were wrong.
Yeah.
2013년 1월 28일 친해일지 저희가 드디어 첫 번째 팬사인회를 했습니다. 많은 분들이 와주셔서 편지도 주시고 하이파이브도 하고 정말 생각보다 너무 많은 분들이 와주셔서 너무 감사했다.
Oh my god.
팬분들과 1대1로 얘기하는 시간이 너무 좋았다. 많은 분들이 저희랑 얘기하는 걸 좋아하셔서 정말 기분이 좋았다.
우와.
안녕하세요.
저 한 번도 안 해봤어요.
나 한 번도 안 해봤어.
나 안 해봤어.
안녕하세요. 신기하네. 신기하네. 안녕하세요. 지민이에요. 신기하다.
That was adorable.
덥습니다. 그래도 잘한 것 같아요. 굉장히 정말 축복받고 너무너무 운 좋고 내가 하고 싶고 내가 잘할 수 있고 내가 사람들한테 보여주고 싶은 거 삶을 살 수 있다는 게 정말 너무너무 축복받은 일인 것 같고 항상 감사하고 팬분들께 정말 기쁘게 해야 될 것 같다. 7월 24일 멤버스터의 로드 끝. 바이바이.
방탄 눈팅하고 있는데요. 방탄 없으면 사는 게 재미가 없다. 전 여러분들이 없으면 사는 게 재미가 없어요.
하나, 둘, 셋. 방탄!
네, 알겠습니다.
몸 아프네. 무서워서 힘들게.
항상 지민이만 돈다고 생각하시죠? 저도 한번 들어보겠습니다. 네. 들어왔습니다.
Nice.
안녕하세요.
네,
안녕하세요.
오늘 아쉬운 소식 들었는데 막방이라고. 빌딩곡으로 이제 활동 마무리하면서 스스로들한테 점수를 준다면
50점 주겠습니다. 네, 앞으로 채워갈 50점입니다.
수고하셨습니다. 수고하셨습니다.
네, 그 전에 2013년 가장 핫한 신인 그룹 방탄소년단이 성공적인 데뷔를 마치고 오늘 굿바이 무대를 가진다고 합니다. 그럼 함께 불러볼까요? 굿바이 방탄소년단.
They're adorable too.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, thank you for putting that in.
I know.
Sick. I love that part so much. It's just so cool.
It's really cool.
Sick.
네, 좋습니다. 두번 앞으로 빨리 가야죠.
네, 좋습니다.
다들 기다리고 있을 텐데 빨리 돌아오셨으면 좋겠어요.
네. 열심히 해서 다음 앨범으로.
2013년 7월 28일.
Okay, so I have to say that it makes a lot of sense why they would do so much rigorous training on the choreography when after they film the video and everything, they have to go promote on these shows and perform that choreography over and over and over again.
Yeah, it's going to be like a reoccurring thing over again and over again. Yeah,
so it's not just like a one and done kind of thing. It is a very rigorous thing. So
yeah. So that's cool to see because obviously you want it to be like really, really good for the music videos. But yeah, if you're taking it to the stage, then especially important performances like these, yeah, they're like, yeah, we don't want you messing up at all because this is very, very important.
Yeah,
so
you're
it makes
on TV.
Exactly, it makes sense that they want them to work so hard to get it so just perfected, you know?
And I just wanted to also point out the huge difference in their attitudes after the performances.
Oh, yeah.
At the beginning, there was a lot of like self-doubt. We could have done better. We'll do better next time.
Yeah.
I don't really know how it went. And they seemed still like very like nerve-wracked.
Yeah.
And then at the end of that one, they were on top of the world. They were feeling good.
Yeah.
They were super excited. They were excited to come back.
Yeah.
So it just shows so much growth that happened just even in that small period of time.
Exactly. Yep. It's really cool to see. Watch them grow and mature into it a little bit.
Yeah.
And they're into their confidence, because that's really hard to get. I don't, you know, I still, whenever I get on stage, I still get nervous. It's just so many things can go wrong, and I don't even dance. So
I know. You have that part where you're also relying on equipment, though.
yeah, last show in Beside, the head kept going out. I was so mad, and there's nothing I could do. We didn't have like an extra one. We thought it was like the cable, so we switched it out while we were performing, and nope, it was like the actual input jack of the bass head, and yeah, I couldn't do anything about it.
That's
So luckily he was out there. He was like trying to hold it, but it still cut out, and then he'd wiggle it around, try to find another
Trying to
spot for
find
it to
it
work,
again.
and he sat there the whole set trying to get it.
Good
which was
man.
really cool. Yeah, and it didn't work very well, but you
It's
know,
better than nothing.
yeah, it's frustrating. I was unhappy by the end of it, but
Yeah.
it is what it is, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to roll with it.
I still performed and we still did good, but you need bass. And
Bass
hey,
is
and
important.
in Beside, I wrote some groovy bass parts. All right,
You always
I-
write
like,
groovy bass. Always.
you gotta make that rhythm section hit hard, you know, make people want to like move to it. So
Exactly.
it was pretty sad, but
Live and learn.
yeah, could have been worse.
제이홉의 로그로 이제 우리의 첫 앨범 투쿨 포스쿨의 앨범 활동도 이제 끝마치게 됐는데 아 믿기지가 않는다. 지금 다음 앨범 준비에 곡 작업에 안무에 화보 촬영에 정말 요즘 몸이 한계인 게 굉장히 슬플 정도로 바쁘게 타이트한 스케줄을 소화하고 있는데 너무너무 즐겁고 행복합니다. 차에서도 가사 쓰고 하고 촬영 중에도 가사 쓰고 이래도 정말 너무너무 즐겁고 행복합니다. 2013년 8월 7일 슈가이로
방탄소년단은 앨범 준비에 들어가면 연습이 곧 공식 스케줄이 됩니다. 연습에만 몰두할 수 있도록 다른 활동은 거의 정지하죠. 그렇다면 시간 단위로 경제적 가치를 창출하는 방탄소년단 입장에서 큰 손해가 아니냐고 생각하시는 분들이 계실지도 모르겠습니다. 처음 방탄소년단 멤버들과 만났을 때부터 지금까지 우리가 가장 중요하게 생각했던 게 스스로 부끄럽지 않을 수 있을 만큼의 완성도였고, 이것을 위해서는 어떤 손해도 감수할 수 있다는 마음가짐으로 준비에 임합니다. 결국 우리가 함께 해온 일들은 우리가 앞서 했던 것보다 조금 더 나은, 조금 더 완성도 높은 컨텐츠를 선보이기 위한 여정이었습니다.
Smart man.
It's a really good idea.
From inside, mentally. But if you still feel your heart beating, what you waiting for?
2013년 8월 16일 전국의 로그 업무 시간이 비로 늘어났다.
Are you ready? Let's go.
자, 동구가 네가 센터를 걸어줘야 될 거 아니야, 가운데.
That'd be exhausting.
I know.
약간 일단 청 테이프에 맞춘 거거든요. 아까는.
뭐가 문제요?
그러니까 청 테이프에 맞췄는데.
그게 지금 뭐 하는 거야 지금? 여정구. 네가 잘했는데 다른 사람이 다 틀렸다 생각해. 네가 아직도? 너 왜 그래?
죄송합니다.
야.
잘해. 잘하면 되지 뭐.
야, 종국아. 뭐 축하 안 해줘서 삐졌냐?
아닙니다.
리더라고 뭐 내가 뭐 너한테 뭘 한 적 있냐?
Oh my god, he's like a disappointed parent.
조금만 오른쪽으로 가면 되나요?
그래, 조금만 가면.
생일 축하합니다. 생일 축하합니다. 사랑하는
Oh my god.
That was not a funny prank.
Man, they have some aggressive slaps too. Oh, so mean.
I would have cried too.
You could see the relief hit him when he realized that everyone was just pranking him, but like,
Well, yeah.
they like slammed the door on him and stuff. Oh my god.
Everybody's yelling at him and just like demeaning him.
Yeah, even RM, he like definitely did like the disappointed
Oh yeah,
parent
he
thing.
laid
When
in with that.
He's just like, have I done something wrong or like did I, you know? I'm like, oh my, everyone just like going in on him a little bit, and they started it all the way from the practice.
Yes.
They started it from then and then just kept it going. And like, who knows how long they actually did keep it going because they're just clips, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Poor dude, man.
That poor guy. It's
Jeez.
his birthday. And he's just like, everybody's being so mean to me.
Yeah, he's like, I was on the
I'm
mark. And
working
he's like,
so
oh, you saying
hard.
everyone else was wrong?
I heard that and I was like, oh, them's fighting words.
Yeah, I'd be like, yeah, I am.
That was not a funny prank. I remember seeing comments talking about the birthday prank, and now I have seen it and I highly disapprove.
Yeah, poor dude, man.
I don't think it's funny.
Yeah, it's rough. Why are you crying? Slap, 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 slap. Birthday slaps for dates.
If anything, it is like a huge reinforcement of the fact that they are siblings because that was such a brother thing to do.
100%, yeah. Oh my god.
Someone hug him.
야, 태어나줘서 고마워. 소감 한 말씀 해줘. 이런 거. 감독님도 낯선 거. 연기가 진짜인 줄 알았어요.
저 옷이 없는데.
감독님도 다 연기하신 거예요?
I like he had to double check.
Yeah, he was still like,
He was still really worried that he had messed up.
yeah,
And-
I'd be feeling the same way. I'd be like, oh, I was like, what about like the manager? And they'd be like, yeah, no, he was acting too. Like, and the director, like, I'm good. Like, everything's good, right? Like, please let me know
Nobody
everything's
was
good.
actually mad at me
Yeah.
throughout the course of the day.
비에로그 오늘은 뮤비를 찍었다. 세트장이 정말 마음에 들었다. 개인적으로 노멀 드림 때보다 더 때깔 있어 보인다. 가서 제일 좋았던 게 밥차
Food truck.
정말 진짜 맛있었다. 세 그릇
Dude, if I had a
먹고
food truck.
새 갖고
That's a man after my own heart.
If there's a food truck, like chilling outside of just work or something, I'm like, every morning, I'm like, okay, so what we having?
Gotta figure
At
it
lunchtime,
out now.
okay, what we having? Right before I leave from work, okay, what we having?
That'd be my favorite part. I'm all about the food. I'm here for the food.
The disappointed, I got indigestion.
뮤비를 찍고 어떤 모습으로 나오게 될지 궁금한 건 마찬가지인 것 같아요.
I'm excited for whatever video that is.
Yeah.
다들 이제 멤버들 전부 파이팅 넘치게 연습을 하고 있기 때문에 그걸 보고 있으면 되게 나도 파이팅! 이렇게 에너지가 팍팍 올라가서 더 열심히 할 수 있게 되는 것 같다. 지지 않겠어. 2013년 8월 23일 진해로그 끝!
저희 방탄소년단이 데뷔한 지
100일이 난
이번 앨범에서 정말 더 한번 빵 터뜨려서
약간은 부담감이 있기도 하는 것 같고 여자
사실 예전엔 즐겁다고 생각한 적은 많이 없었던 것 같아요.
밑에 박수를 보여줘.
크로스플레이 아주 시원해.
안돼.
Oh no!
어때? 앞으로 직접 해봐야.
음료수 교환권. 예!
아까
Oh man. He was holding it pretty good.
That's sabotage.
The diet is working.
팬 여러분들입니다.
So I really liked chapter 2. It gave us a little bit more of a peek into like the K-pop music industry, and then it did actually put it in perspective globally. And I think that it made those references a little bit more clear as well, because we got confused in the first chapter with the comparison to sports and athletes.
Yes.
Thinking that it was like a justification and not like a calling it as it is.
Right, exactly.
So
Yeah.
I thought that it
more
seemed,
of like a call out to the Western for being hypocritical.
yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that I made that a lot more clear. And I really enjoyed seeing all of the growth that happened with the members in this one.
Yeah, there was a lot, because I'm pretty sure since the beginning of chapter 1 up till this point, it's been 3 years, maybe a little over 3 years. And you could tell that their bond is growing stronger. And so their stage presence is more confident. And going into it, they're a little bit more confident. And afterwards, they're happy about their performance more often.
Mhm.
Things like that. And that comes with time and a lot of practice.
It's just a really cool thing to see. It's really fortunate that there were so many cameras on
I know. It's
through all
really,
of their experiences.
It's super cool to see like the biggest group of all time being able to just dive into their history and see so much behind the scenes and watch them come up and how they got to where they are.
Yeah,
Really cool and super rare to have so much footage.
exactly. And then I always love like the interactions between the members that we get to see.
I do too.
But I didn't like the
except for the prank. Yeah.
I didn't like the prank.
Yeah, that hurt my soul so badly.
I know, it's just like somebody hug him.
It would mess me up so bad too if I was putting so much effort in and I'm like, I know I did it right. And then like they're saying that you're wrong and you're like, no, like seriously, I did it right. And they're like, are you arguing with me? I swear to God, I was like right on it. I don't understand. So then you'd feel so like cheated and like
It was a lot of gaslighting is what it was. Yeah, I know you think you did that right and that you were on your mark, but I'm telling you right now
you weren't.
That you're wrong.
Exactly.
Everything you think is wrong.
Yeah.
And we're upset with you. But happy birthday!
Happy
Just
birthday,
kidding!
that was up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's like cool like behind the scenes and watching them progress and then go onto the shows and see how they felt going back to regular society and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was all really interesting and super cool.
And I liked the signings. Like the fan
Oh my God, they were
signings.
so excited.
They were so excited.
Yeah, I loved it.
It was really cute to see.
And they looked like they were very sweet to everybody who came out.
Oh, yeah.
It was just super cool.
But don't leave yet, because now we're going to do the deleted scenes.
Giving you guys more content.
둘, 셋. 방탄.
방탄캐. 제 꿈은 데뷔하는 거였지만
성공 이뤘습니다.
이렇게
찍어서 뭐 할 거야?
뭐야? 나 찍고 있었거든. 아 진짜.
아 잘생겼습니다. 굉장히 남자답게 생기고 멋있는데요. 저만큼 잘생기진 않았어요 근데.
네, 인터뷰 그만하고 싶네요.
죄송합니다.
잔디 깎는답니다. 네, 열심히 깎아주시고요. 네. 전부 다. 네, 얘가 미칩니다. 야, 좀 제대로 해봐. 따라하지 마.
다 똑같이 나처럼 생각하고 있어?
It's different. Do it better next time.
이 속보 정말 대단한 속보입니다. 지민 씨가 이번 무대 등판을 까고 무대를 선다는 속보가 있습니다. 아주 놀라운 제보를 받았는데요. 한번 따라가 보겠습니다.
Follow me to find more.
네, 등판을 까고 무대를 선다는 제보를 받고 왔는데요. 사실인가요? 네. 한번 보여주시죠.
Oh, gotcha. See through.
다음 속보입니다. 네, 이 속보 아주 놀라운 속보죠. 제 옆에 지금 외계인이 있습니다. 네, 한번 따라가 보실까요?
Oh no.
진짜 이상해. 진짜 재미도 없고요.
He's so, he just seems so annoyed.
뭐라는 건지 모르겠어요. 뭐라는 건지.
I know that song.
Look at me now. Look at me now.
와.
Oh, nice. Beautiful.
Look at them.
와. 커버 라이프.
야, 붙여왔어?
We just ate donuts.
Oh, yeah, we did. Oh, yeah, we did.
There were extras at work,
Yeah, I was so-
and I brought them home.
I was so excited. Me and them just like, what are those? Immediately grabbed them. I'm like, yes, okay, that's happening right now.
Pop it in the microwave, get it a little toasty,
Oh my God, so
softer.
I feel so bad for him. I'd be so mad if someone's like, here's a box of donuts. And I'm like, yes. And they're like, you can't eat those. I just was, that would annoy me so badly.
What is that?
He said it was like some kind of
Cooling spray?
Yeah.
I know. I wonder if it's like a...
I think it's the throat coat. Because I think in the original video, it showed spraying it into his mouth.
No, it's a different one.
Was it?
It was a different kind of spray. Yeah. Oh, I wonder if it's some kind of like liquid nitrogen kind of variant spray. Because that would be very cooling. But it would also hurt if you kept it on one spot too long.
사람이 사실 행복해지기 위해서 행복을 위해서 산다고 하는데 정말 그 행복이라는 게 뭔지 참 생각을 해보면 아무것도 아닌 것 같은 게 그러니까 내 말은 내가 하고 싶은 말은 이제 미래의 행복만을 미래에 행복해지기 위해 지금 희생한다 뭐 이런 생각도 너무너무 좋지만 지금의 행복도 어느 정도 자기가 성취한 게 있다면 미리미리 즐기고 누리는 것도 좀 삶을 좀 순탄하고 어느 정도 즐겁게 사는 방법이지 않을까 싶다. 항상 미래에 더 행복해지기 위해서 뭔가 항상 욕심을 내고 그런 거가 너무너무 좋지만 나도 그렇게 살아왔지만 현재를 즐길 줄 아는 법도 정말 멋지게 사는 법 중에 하나인 것 같고.
Wise words.
Yeah, like again, I just really like his way of thinking.
Yeah.
It's what I need in my life because I'm kind of the opposite. Especially, you know, if you have a full-time job and everything, it kind of feels like you're stuck there. Feels like everything's on repeat.
Yeah, it can feel stagnant.
You want to be like doing something else, like doing hobbies or, you know, things like that. And that's when you have to try to, instead of complaining about it, it's like, well, at least I have a full-time job. At least I can feed my family. In the moment, it's really hard to do. But I also agree that if you try to live in the moment and you try to look at the good things and everything, I feel like you probably be happier in life.
Much happier.
그리고 막내인 정국 씨.
네.
나이가 많이 어린데.
네.
몇 살?
17살입니다.
17살?
네.
97년생.
네, 97년생.
97?
네.
저랑 딱 10살 차이네요. 짜증난다. 그래요. 근데 학교 이제 친구들 학교 다니고 있죠?
네.
학교 친구들 되게 부러워할 것 같아요. 이제 데뷔했고. 어때요? 뭐 제일 궁금한 게 뭐예요? 우리 정국 씨한테.
요즘 정국이는 지금
네, 저는
학교를
근데, 네,
안 다니고 있어요. 지금.
지금 학교를 안 다니고.
네, 활동 때문에 일단 내년에 가기로 해가지고 아직 활동.
그렇구나.
네, 학교를 안 다니고 있습니다.
Okay. I was kind of hoping that they would let him elaborate on what his friends said and stuff. I wish they would have let him elaborate on that because I'm curious if all the members' experiences like that were similar to each other's.
Yeah, I'm also very curious. And then I'm glad that Suga jumped in to explain the situation.
Yeah.
As to why he was not in school at the time.
이번에 녹음을 할 곡은 연령대가 살짝 높은데 연령대가 살짝 높은데 조금 힘이 든다.
네, 지금 보고 계신 앨범은 방탄소년단의
Too Cool for School이요.
네, 그렇습니다. 네, Too Cool for School. 정말 저희들 진정성이 담긴 가사예요.
제가 썼어요.
네, 레몬스터 썼어요. 네, 정말 즐겁게 들으셨으면 하는 그런 트랙이었습니다. 네, 이것도
사랑해요.
네, 방탄의 Too Cool for School 앨범 리뷰 여기서 마치도록 하겠습니다.
레몬스터예요.
데뷔 전에 가장 동경했던 가수가 있었다면 아시잖아요. 누굴까요? 태양 선배님.
어제 모 라디오에 나가서 비 선배님이라 했을 텐데.
자, 가수의 꿈을 꾸게 해주신
비 선배님의 무대를 보고 했으면 이거
데뷔
기대 없어도 되는 거예요.
죄송합니다.
살면 사랑하는 자음형이 있다면 열정 없이 사느니 차라리 죽는 게 낫다.
와, 심오하네요.
곧
죽겠네요.
So Jungkook's gonna die soon.
이제 아직 신인이라 많이 떨리고 하는데
His glasses are fantastic.
계속 열심히 하고 싶고.
방송을 막상 해보니까 연습할 때랑 굉장히 많이 다르더라고. 특히 인이어도 그렇고 무겁더라. 몸이 무거워. 그래서 연습할 때만큼 자유롭게 안 되고 여러 가지 좀 애로사항들이 많았는데
처음 무대를 쓰니까 많이 떨리고 긴장도 되고 했지만 그래도 무대를 쓰고 난 후의 모습을 보니 너무나 기분도 좋고 팬분들도 봐서 또 기분도 좋고
정말 즐겁고 신났고 3년 동안 연습하다가 이렇게 무대를 쓰고 또 우리 무대 이곳 또 우리 음악으로 또 이렇게 많은 대중분들께 보여지니까 되게 이상하네요 기분이. 슈가는 기분이 너무 좋아서 눈물이 날 뻔했다. 희망이는 기분이 오묘해서 눈물이 날 뻔했다. 나는 정말 이렇게 정말 많은 칭찬 응원해 주셔서 하루하루 커지는 응원 덕에 정말 너무 감격스럽고 눈물이 날 뻔했다. 정말 앞으로도 열심히 노력하고 잘하는 방탄소년단이 되겠습니다.
I can't imagine training and working up for 3 years to your debut.
That is a long build up to like 10 minutes.
Yeah. And yeah, you'd be so nervous because you're like, well, I've been doing this for 3 years. I really hope this lands and sticks somehow. Oh man, I'd be very nervous too.
So much energy.
I know.
안녕하세요, 슈가입니다.
They had so much fun with that.
They did.
Rap is a monkey flipping with the funky rhythm I be kicking. Musician, inflicting composition of pain. I'm like Scarface sniffing cocaine, holding an M16. So with the pain, I'm extreme now. 미안합니다. 방금 읊조린 가사는 이제 나스의 NY State of Mind 라는 노래인데, 이제 나스가 처음에 랩을 들어가기 전에 막 이런 얘기를 한다. 막 I don't know how to start this. 어떻게 시작해야 될지 모르겠어. 근데 갑자기 비트가 딱 제대로 딱 나오니까 갑자기 막 Rap is a monkey flip them 하면서 막 랩을 막 뱉는데, 그 처음에 들었을 때 그 소름 아직도 잊을 수가 없어서 왜 이 얘기를 하고 있냐면, 뭔가 이제 어떤 이렇게 상황이 닥쳐왔을 때 나도 정말 저렇게 내가
Like wants to work on his freestyling.
잘 해낼 수 있을지에 대한 의문이 좀 들고, 연습 없이 뭔가 요행을 바란다는 거는 사실 정말 뛰어나고 정말 미칠 듯한 천재 아니면.
랩 몬스터 내 섹시한 목소리와 랩 한 번이면 여자들 다 콕소리 나 yeah. 공부할 땐 난 또 똑소리 나 전국 1% IQ는 148 yeah. 난 할 때면 딱 하는 남자, 그런 내가 있는 곳은 여기 방탄. 우리가 딱 이끌어낼 감탄, 사람들은 우릴 보며 외쳐 신왔다.
Okay.
Hey yo, Hitman Bang introduces.
Hey yo, Hitman Bang introduces.
랩 댄스 노래로 상대방의 기선을 제압해. 랩 댄스 노래로 상대방의 기선을 제압해. Yeah. 네, 죄송합니다.
I don't remember.
진짜 저희가 좋아하고 정말 저희가 진짜 잘할 수 있는 음악인 것 같고요. 저는 힙합이 이제 가장 뭔가 나를 표현하는데, 나나 우리를 표현하는 데 있어서 가장 적합한 장르라고 생각을 해서 저희가 뭔가 이제 앞으로 이런 것들을 표현하는 저희 그 자체이지 않을까 싶습니다.
뮤지션으로서의 목표는 안 그래도 아무래도 저희들이 좋은 음악을 많이 만들어서 이제 대중분들께 저희들의 좋은 음악을 많이 들려드린 게 최고의 목표 아닌가 싶습니다. 사실 역시 가수한테는 좋은 음악을 많이 만들어서 들려드리는 게 가장 큰 행복이니까요. 네.
As always, I love the deleted scenes.
It's just fun to see more of the behind the scene type stuff and kind of hear them just talk and enjoy each other's company and give each other a hard time.
Yeah, I really like to hear RM speak.
I know, RM's growing on me, man, because he's a deep thinker and I respect that a lot.
Yeah, and I really enjoy his mentality.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very interested to hear more. And we still haven't even heard his speeches at the UN.
I know, we have so much catching up to do.
I know. And we will get there.
Yeah, one day eventually.
We're chipping away at it.
We're having a good time doing it though, at least.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's the important part.
Yeah, it's really fun learning about them.
I enjoy getting to know all of them in little ways through all the clips.
All their quirks and stuff like that, you know?
Yes.
I agree. So for the next video, next week, we're going to be checking out No More Dream, which was apparently their like actual song debut, the first song to debut. So we're going to check that out next time. If you're interested in that, then tag along.
Yeah. And we hope that you guys had some fun.
Yeah, well, we had a lot of fun. Let us know in the comments what your favorite parts of Chapter 2 are.
Yes, definitely let us know your thoughts because we want to talk to you. We will be down in the comment section with you.
Until the next video, stay safe. We love you. And we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. thumbnail.
Ah,
Ooh, spicy.
spicy.